1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I'm sorry. Come on in. I didn't see you there. I was busy counting my non-existent facial hair. It's as depressing as it sounds. Yes, and how depressing it is. I can't tell you how much I envy my father's ability to grow a beard. Now, I tried to tell you guys before that I can't grow one, but you just didn't believe me. Bet you do now. Did you count them? There's at least 7. I got that far. But we're not here to talk about my beard. We're here to talk about Rocket League. Several years ago, Rocket League's predecessor, supersonic, acrobatic, rocket-powered battle cars from space! Okay, they're not from space. But it was kicking around, and it was known not so much more easily as SARPBC or SARPS. It was kicking around and quite popular with a cult following, and it was released through the PlayStation Network in 2008. Despite not getting much critical acclaim, it did relatively well, and obviously well enough for the publisher Psyonix to figure it was worth a sequel, and Rocket League was born. And I, for one, might I add, am very thankful the name is ever so slightly shorter. For those of you who don't know what Rocket League is all about, it's actually pretty simple. Take some cars and strap rockets to them. Take 2 to 8 of these cars and toss them into an arena with a giant soccer ball, sorry world outside of North America, and make them play soccer, sorry world outside of North America, for 5 minutes. Essentially, that's what you're getting yourself into with Rocket League, but you'd be surprised just how much depth there is to be had. Before we talk about all the sweet tricks and razzle-dazzle you can pull off, let's talk about what's available to you game-wise. Because you know, the game part's kind of important. When you boot up Rocket League, you're going to be greeted with, much to your surprise, a main menu. But the big thing here is the music is absolutely awesome. Seriously, all the music in the game is really great. You've got a few game modes to choose from, including Play Online, Exhibition, Season, and Training. And you can also hop into your garage or check in on your replays and stats in the Extras menu. Play Online is pretty much exactly what it sounds like, and allows you and a friend or 3, locally or online I might add, to play in 1v1, 2v2, 3v3, or the more than aptly named, and I'm dead serious when I say this because it gets real, Chaos Mode 4v4. Of all the playlists, only Chaos Mode is without a ranked option, which is a bit weird to me, to be completely honest with you, but hey, it is Chaos after all. Exhibition Mode allows you to play against AI alone or with a friend, or choose to ruin friendships, much like you would in Monopoly or in Mario Party, in a versus match. Season Mode lets you create your own team of 1 to 3 other AI and play against other AI-controlled teams for ultimate supremacy, which is honestly more challenging than you might think. Thankfully, the training mode is incredibly useful and well put together, setting you up with the basics and even some advanced maneuvers to take to the real pitch. Now just hold on, before you start flailing around like a mechanized, rocket-powered Goldine, you should first choose which vehicle to flail around with and make it really pretty. That's important now. It's gotta feel good about itself before it heads out on the field. The garage holds all the cars you unlock over time, as well as a plethora of fancy accessories to make your own special rocket box, including decals, paint, rocket trails. By the way, to hell with all those who spam that godforsaken rainbow. Toppers, basically hats for cars, and antennas. You'll unlock things in all of these categories as you play, and you can really make some pretty hilarious rides. Personally, I have a configuration I like to call the Christmas Mexican.
Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Prospero año y felicidad.
Okay. So you've done your time in the more than a little recommended training mode. You've even played a handful of exhibition games versus some AI, and you have a winning record in your season mode. Big deal, big deal. However, you feel pretty good and decide to get your kicks online. You get into a game with 2 other players, and the timer starts the countdown to kickoff as you sit up in your chair and prepare to go to battle. 5 minutes later, a single tear rolls down your cheek as you are presented with the score screen. You lost 5-0 and touched the ball a total of 3 times, resulting in a goal on your own net at least once, but who's counting? Congratulations, you now have an appreciation for stuff like this. Now, I wouldn't call Rocket League punishingly difficult, but there is definitely a learning curve. The good news is that you're unlikely to care when you suck it up because you're having too much damn fun. There are few games that are as generally accessible as Rocket League that have as high of a skill ceiling. And playing this game for 30 hours, you're going to think that you're pretty good. Then you'll run into somebody who is infinitely better than you, and I mean infinitely better than you. And you'll have a new benchmark to reach. You'll go from waiting for the ball to come at you, bro, to chasing it down aggressively. After that, you'll likely go from waiting for the ball to fall gracefully from the sky to chasing that son of a bitch and hitting it while you're up in the ceiling. It's an incredibly rewarding experience gameplay-wise, and it's an absolute blast even at the worst of times. From a technical standpoint, the game is pretty spot on. After having played the game for over 100 hours now, but still totally frickin' sucking, the only thing that I can truly pick out is that every now and then some strange hits or ball physics will crop up, even without networking or lag issues, but both are pretty rare occurrences. For a short while after the game launch, there were definitely a host of network issues, due largely to the game doing infinitely better than they had ever anticipated, but that's long since cleared up. Odds are, the only thing that's going to make you pull your hair out at this point is your teammates. Graphically speaking, since we always gotta talk about that these days, Rocket League is surprisingly sharp and runs smooth, despite what you might see in this review. Thank you, A for Media. There's just enough madness going on to keep up with and not make your eyes bleed, which I guess is kind of important when you're playing a game. Now, I don't own it on PS4, but I have played it on the system, and I noticed no major hitches during my play, although somebody in the comment section can correct me if I'm wrong. I do believe that there might have been a small performance hit when there were 4v4 matches, but it's hard for me to say with what time I had with it. On the PC, there are a great number of options to tweak and optimize for your system, though I do wish there were an option to turn off grass for lower-end systems and streamers, since streaming this game without it looking like a mosaic is nigh on frickin' impossible. It also gets my love for being one of those rare games you can actually alt-tab out and back in without accidentally starting Ragnarok, which is helpful for humanity and other things, but regardless of that, it does not, unfortunately, get a cookie for having a master audio slider. Why, in God's name, in the year 2015, is a master audio slider so damn hard to come by? Now, sure, you can say, oh, Adam, you can just alt-tab out and go to the Windows Audio. Well, remember what we just talked about? So many games these days blow up when you try to alt-tab. I'm just asking for a simple master audio slider. I'll guess I'll let it slide a bit since the aforementioned music is pretty awesome and the sound effects are also solid. It's pretty hilarious to hear the cars infinitely change gears, though, when you tear around. It's time for the bottom line, ladies and gentlemen. Rocket League presents one of the most universally fun gaming experiences I've had in a long while. And I'm serious. It's becoming more and more rare that I truly enjoy a game, and this is one of those rare cases. Rocket League also provides incredible value with its surprisingly low $21.99 Canadian price tag, which is, give or take, something around 10 cents US. I would easily pay $50 for this thing and still feel like I was getting a deal. Psyonix has also released the Supersonic Fury DLC pack for $4.49 that includes a couple of new cars and bits and bobs to put on those cars. They have also released a new arena for free to everyone and have officially started ranked seasons. It seems like Psyonix is really backing their game and it continues to grow the online community. Now, I don't usually like writing gushing reviews because it makes them seem like they're even more biased than usual, but I can assure you that in this case, Rocket League has earned it and should earn a spot on your games to play list. If you haven't already, you should be playing Rocket League.
Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, próspero año y felicidad.
Blow it up, Kermit. You got it. I'm gonna go shave.